Assalamu alaikum. This video is presented by Uruj Fatma Bilal and Sayyida Aisha Ubaid. And in this video, we are sharing our documentary, which is based on 7 wonders of the world. From any further ado, let's start.
Today in this video, we're going to share our documentary which is on the 7 wonders of the world or the 7 wonders of the ancient world, simply known as the 7 wonders. Is a list of remarkable construction of classical antiquity given by the various authors in guidebooks or poems popular among ancient Hellenic tourists. The picture, as you can see, is actually the timeline, map, and the size comparison of the 7 wonders. Dates in bold green and dark red are of their construction and destruction respectively. The first one we have is the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. The Great Pyramid, located at Giza on the west bank of the Nile River north of Cairo in Egypt, is the only wonder of the ancient world that has survived to the present day. It is a part of a group of 3 pyramids, Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaure, that were built between 2700 and 2500 for Christ as the royal tombs. The largest and the most impressive is the Khufu, known as the Great Pyramid, which covers 13 acres and is believed to contain more than 2 million stone blocks that weigh from 2 to 30 tons each. Hanging Gardens of Babylon. According to the ancient Greek poets, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon were built near the Euphrates River in the modern-day Iraq by the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar around 600 before Christ. The gardens were said to have been planted as high as 75 feet in the air on a huge square brick terrace that was laid out in the steps like a theater. Statue of Zeus at Olympia. The famed statue of Zeus, the king of the gods, in Greek mythology, was crafted by the Athenian sculptor Phidias and completed and placed in the Temple of Zeus at Olympia, site of the ancient Olympics around the mid-5th century before Christ. The statue depicted the god of thunder seated bare-chested at a wooden throne. Holding up the throne's armrest were 2 curved sphinxes, mythical creatures with the head and a chest of a woman, the body of a lion, and the wings of a bird. The statue of Zeus was richly decorated with gold and ivory. Temple of Artemis at Ephesus. There was actually more than one temple of Artemis. A series of several altars and the temples was destroyed and then restored on the same site in Ephesus, a Greek port city on the west coast of modern-day Turkey. The most fabulous and these structures were 2 marble temples built around 550 to and 350 before Christ respectively. Apart from Olympus, the sun never looked on anything so grand. The writer Antipater of Sidon wrote of the temple of Artemis at Ephesus. The original temple of Artemis was designed by Cretan architect Chrysophoron and his son Metagenes and decorated by some of the most celebrated artists of the ancient world.
Mausoleum at Halicarnassus. Located in what is now southeastern Turkey, the mausoleum at Halicarnassus was a tomb built by Artemisia for her husband Mausolus, the king of Carnia in Asia Minor. After his death in 353 before Christ, Mausolus was also Artemisia's brother, and according to legend, she was so grief-stricken at his passing that she mixed his ashes with water and drank them in addition to ordering the mausoleum's construction. The massive mausoleum was made entirely of white marble and is thought to have been about 135 feet high. The building's complicated design, consisting of 3 rectangular layers, may have been an attempt to reconcile Lycian, Greek, and Egyptian architectural styles. The first layer was a 60-foot base of steps, followed by a middle layer of 36 Ionic columns and a stepped pyramid-shaped roof. At very top of the roof lay the tomb, decorated by the work of 4 sculptors and a 20-foot marble rendition of a 4-horse chariot. Colossus of Rhodes. The Colossus of Rhodes was an enormous bronze sculpture of the sun god Helios built by the Rhodians over 12 years in the 3rd century before Christ. The city was the target of a Macedonian siege early in the 4th century before Christ, and, according to legend, the Rhodians sold the tools and equipment left behind by the Macedonians to pay for the Colossus. Designed by the sculptor Chairs, the statue was at 100 feet the tallest of the ancient world. It was completed around 280 before Christ and stood for 60 years until it was toppled in an earthquake. It was never rebuilt. Hundreds of years later, Arabs invaded Rhodes and sold the remains of the statue as scrap metal. Because of this, archaeologists do not know much about the exact location of the statue or what it looked like. Most believe that it depicted the sun god standing naked while he lifted a torch with one hand and held a spear in the other. It was once believed that the statue stood with one leg on each side of a harbor, but most scholars now agree that the statue's legs were most likely built closer to support its immense weight. The lighthouse of Alexandria was located on a small island called Pharos near the city of Alexandria, designed by the Greek architect Sostratos and completed around 270 before Christ. During the reign of Ptolemy II, the lighthouse helped to guide Nile River ships in and out of the city's busy harbor. Archaeologists have found ancient coins on which the lighthouse was depicted, and from them deduced that the structure had three tiers: a square level at the bottom, an octagonal level in the middle, and a cylindrical top. Above that stood a 16-foot statue, most likely of Ptolemy II or Alexander the Great, for the whom for whom the city was named. Although the estimates of the lighthouse's weight have ranged from 200 to 600 feet, most modern scholars believe it was about 380 feet tall. The lighthouse was gradually destroyed during a series of earthquakes from 956 to 1323. Some of its remains have since been discovered at the bottoms of the Nile. In 2007, the New Seven Wonders Foundation held a contest to name the new seven wonders of the world. Tens of millions of people voted for the UNESCO World Heritage sites that made the list. They span four continents and attract thousands of tourists each year. They are: number 1, the Great Wall of China, built 220 before Christ to 1644 AD. Number 2 is the Taj Mahal, which is located in India, built 1632 till 1648 AD. Number 3 is Petra, Jordan, built 4th century before Christ to 2nd century AD. Number 4 is the Colosseum in Rome, which is located in Italy, built AD 72 to 82. Number 5 is Christ the Redeemer statue, which is located in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, built 1926 till 1931. Number 6 is Chichen Itza, which is located in Mexico, built 5 to 13th century AD. And the last is Machu Picchu, which is located in Peru, built mid 15th century AD.